right, guys, for those of you who don't know who I am Catherine Haskins, and I am the founder of the Bridge Club. And yes, this is not Barbie pink, this is Bridge Club pink, in case anyone is curious. And yes, we can find a lot of pink these days, so that is fantastic. And I'm incredibly honored that both Dr. Ellen and Kara both wore pink tonight. So next year it'll be a pink out for everybody. So I wanted to kind of step back a little bit. First explain, for those of you who came tonight and don't know what the Bridge Club is, I just want to give you a quick little summary that we are solely committed to elevating veterinary medicine. We do this two ways. One, by honoring extraordinary individuals like Kara Burns. We do this specifically so that the industry can learn, because it is great people who do great things and we need to replicate it. Secondarily, we also host really critical conversations that all of you are invited to attend for free. Your voice matters. And when there are problems in this profession, we together can create solutions to move us forward, making veterinary medicine even better. Tonight would not be possible without amazing sponsors, and I need to make sure everyone understands what a sponsor does. They are the reason you have the beverage in your hand tonight. They are also the reason that we are able to make a financial donation to Kara Burns' charity of choice, Every Cat Foundation. So tonight, I want to make sure before you leave tonight that you give a special thank you and call out to NADC, because I know Jean and Laura are here. I see Laura back there. Really thank them for this amazing conference, but more importantly, for helping us with our ICON event. I also want to make sure Blue Buffalo is called out. They have been our sponsor for years, and they have let us do whatever we wanted to be able to do with this event, and they've been so supportive and incredible. And finally, our true partners at IDEXX, I adore you all and can't thank you enough for all your support. So tonight, please make sure you comment to them and thank them for all their support and what they've done. I promise I won't speak much longer, but I want to make sure that you understand how an icon is selected. So in the early days of the Bridge Club, we picked someone we loved and said, this person should be an icon. I do want to indicate there are several icons in here tonight. Dr. Ruby Perry is in here. Julia Stefanis, one of the original icons, is here as well. I know John Payne and Dr. Eleanor Green were on their way. I'm not sure if they made it, but please make sure you take a point to say something to them as well. An icon is someone, in my mind, who is a hero, a mentor, but more importantly, someone who leaves a legacy that the profession can learn from for decades to come. It is critically important for the future of veterinary medicine to have trailblazers like this. What I also want to talk about real quick is how was Kara selected? This year we were committed to recognizing a veterinary technician. I had a lot of people tell us, don't do it, you're going to run into a lot of politics with it all, and boy did we. The number of emails I got, it was hysterical. But what happened was we decided to open it up to the profession. There are so many amazing veterinary technicians who are doing incredible work that I've never met, and I wanted to know their names. So can we do an applause to every veterinary technician? Over 47 nominations, and I can't tell you how amazing these people are. So what my amazing team did, Dr. Cheryl Good and Dr. Shannon Nowak, our LVT, RVT, what they did was we went through all of the applications and realized that not all of them were equal. So we made them equal. We filled out people's bios, we made sure their credentials were included, etc. That was step one. Step two was we stripped all their names out. I don't even know if Kara fully knows everything that happened. When I told her, she was kind of lost in what was happening. She was stunned. So we ended up stripping out all the names. And then we sent that list to the icons. And the icons then ranked their top 3 and sent those back to us, not knowing what the other icon had selected. Then the list went to our sponsors. Unanimously, Kara Perkins was selected as our icon. Gotta put the readers on. Have to put the readers on because why is Kara an icon? Not that I have to explain it because look at this room. I actually should take a selfie. Get a picture of this. This isn't I'm just saying. So many of us know that she is the editor-in-chief of Today's Veterinary Nurse. Yay. She is the current president of the Pet Nutrition Alliance and a past executive board member for Pride VMC. But that's not all. She has absolutely committed her career. In fact, today was speaking already at this conference on the role of veterinary technicians and how to maximize them. She has been the past president of the Kansas Veterinary Technicians Association, past president of NAVTA, and she is so dedicated to nutrition, it's unparalleled. We've had her talk to our pet parents in the past, it's been amazing. She founded the Academy for Veterinary Nutrition Technicians and has co-written 2 textbooks. And guys, a whopping 100 professional articles. This woman has done it all, and she's not even done, which is enough. She currently is the Director of Veterinary Nurse Development at Wellhaven Pet Health, and I do want to call out because there's several folks here. I want to make sure I have got quite a gem in her, and you are so So before we get started, for those of you who know the Bridge Club, what do we do next? Toast. Yes, it's time for our toast. So I'm very fortunate, get your glasses ready. I'm very fortunate to be able to invite Dr. Alex Miller of Blue Buffalo to the stage for our toast, and then he will kick off the rest of the festivities.
All right. Boy, do I feel unaccomplished. I am incredibly grateful to be standing up here tonight and talking to all of you because I made the choice not to wear my pink blazer, and that would have been incredibly awkward. But no, seriously, it's a phenomenal group that we're looking at here. And when I went to vet school, I remember the veterinarian inspired me to go to vet school. And I thought they were the game changer that was going to kind of be at my pinnacle. And then I went to vet school, and I met all my amazing professors and nurses and technicians, and those were the game changers that I was always going to reach for. And then I graduated, and I thought that was going to be it, that I had in my mind who the game changers were. If I had to define what makes veterinary medicine amazing, it's that you never find a shortage of game changers. People who stand back and say, how it is not how it could be. And I'm not just going to say that, but I'm going to do something about it. So, join me in this toast to the game changers. Thank you. All right, it's now my great honor to invite Kara Burns and her wife, Dr. Ellen Lowry, to conduct tonight's conversation.
She was watching me carefully because this is a high chair and I'm very short. So, are you going to sit or stand?
I don't know yet.
Rarely is this person speechless. In fact, any of you that have attended any of her education seminars, you know how much she engages the audience. So be prepared because she might engage you as well. But the only other time I saw her speechless was when we saw our favorite comedian, Catherine Madigan. And she couldn't even mumble a word. So let's hope that we can do a little bit better.
No promises.
So it is, honestly, I may tear up a little bit here because this is the love of my life. And I have watched her invest every ounce of energy outside of what she puts into our family, human and animal, into the veterinary profession. She loves being a veterinary technician, and she is a tremendous advocate for the profession, especially for veterinary technicians. I sometimes stalk her a little bit when she's speaking at conferences and watch how many of the technicians that want to be want to be utilized more, swamp up to the front when she's done so that they can ask her questions, and she's always so kind and spends endless hours just mentoring and coaching and offering advice. So I've got a few questions. I'm going to spend some time talking with Kara, sharing a little bit more of who Kara is from a personal perspective.
Okay, next.
Not necessarily professional, although you're going to hear some of that. And then Shannon's going to come up and invite her to talk more about the technician profession and her aspirations and dreams for that. So Kara, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. So many of you may not know that in addition to being a highly accomplished provincial veterinary technician, she has 2 master's degrees. She has a master's in physiology and a master's in counseling psychology. And her first career was as a psychologist at the Maine Medical Center, where she worked with people and their families, obviously, that had to come into the emergency department in need of urgent and follow-up well-being care, mental health care. And so when Kara and I first met and we started talking through careers and those types of things, I was very interested and want her to share with you the story behind taking that courageous leap and transitioning from human medicine to veterinary medicine.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you all for being here. I'd be much more comfortable if I was talking nutrition to you all than about myself, but here we go. My family is up front here, and we were raised, we don't talk about anything, right? So you guys are going to learn so much about me. And I probably will stand because that way I can pace. So yes, like many of you in the room, I knew from the age of 5 I wanted to be in veterinary medicine. I also knew that I was not going to marry a man. That's another story. We'll get to that. But so yeah. So went to college. I was a 2-sport athlete in college, and then life happens, and things take you down a different road. And so I was taken down a different road, and I became I became a psychologist. I worked with geriatric individuals, and then in the emergency department at Maine Med Center in the great state of Maine, best state in the nation, just saying. And so, yeah, that was not the easiest job, because you had people that were having, their first psychotic break. They were suicidal, right? They were there because they were in pain. You also had multi-traumas, and you're working with the individuals who, love them, so their families. And it was not my passion. I tried to do, obviously the best that I could. And then, I knew it wasn't for me. I knew that I should have stuck with my original plan. But again, it's okay. Life takes you different roads, and I can still use those skills, right? Especially today in veterinary medicine. So I left a decent paying job with benefits to take a $5 an hour vet assistant job. Yeah. We'll say now that was very courageous. It's not what I was being told by others at the time, but I knew my passion, right? And so from there, I fell in love with, obviously, veterinary medicine and nutrition. Shocker. I worked as a vet assistant. I attained my LVT in the great state of Maine again, and fell in love with nutrition and dentistry was second. So shout out to my dental peeps. And then I took a job with industry, as many of you know. And so, have you picked up that I like Maine? So I had a choice. I could stay where I was comfortable, the state that I loved. I love New England. Or I could follow my passion. And so I moved cross country to work for Hill's Pet Nutrition in Topeka, Kansas. Oh, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Because this is all about you.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So I'll be quiet now. I think I'm answering the second question.
No, it might be the third one, but that's okay. That's okay, because this is all that, right, as we go along. I actually feel kind of silly that I have to actually look at my notes to ask her good questions. Because I know her probably better than she knows herself. But one thing I think that I find very interesting, Tara, is that sometimes people look at very accomplished people, icons, right? And they assume that you just have it all, right? Without knowing the journey behind that. So you touched on that a little bit and started through that, but what have been some challenges for you, and what did you do to overcome those barriers?
From what we talked about so far?
Yeah.
Well,
Like in your career path, the challenges there.
there's been so many. Well, I mean, first of all, to go from a secure, right, good paying, doing good things, I think, for people, job, and leaving that, just walking away and taking a job for $5 an hour. So when I say to anyone, when I'm talking to them, that you can do it, and your mental health, your physical health is the most important thing, I'm living proof, because I didn't want to do that anymore. So I hopefully am living being authentic. And so, yeah, challenges, we'll get to some when we get to Topeka. More challenges to come.
So share with us the Topeka story.
Okay.
Topeka, Kansas, Kansas.
Topeka, Kansas 20 years ago. Okay, let's set the stage. I'm coming from very liberal New England. And, when I took this job because I saw the future that I could hopefully have, maybe an impact, I don't know. But I moved. And outside of Hills, the building, the headquarters, is the Westboro Baptist Church. And with their signs, and I'm like, what am I doing, right? Why am I coming to this? And granted, I didn't know Kansas at the time, so you paint with a brush that the whole state is hate-filled, right? No, it's just this group. People in Kansas most of them are very, very kind. So, so I'm like, what am I doing, right? Well, I am Irish Catholic, and so driving across country with my cockatiels behind me singing Jingle Bells the whole way, I realized that God, or whatever you believe in, but God had a better plan for me because I met the love of my life.
I told you that question just so she could see. All right, so we've already seen a little bit of the personal side of that. Sister Pam has a question.
Oh, we're not taking questions. Especially from family.
Yes.
You didn't say that.
She's not part of the story.
Okay, yeah, we flew Mom out after. So my mother came with us. My sister Pam is up here from Massachusetts, much older than me. I'm the youngest of six.
I'm used to it.
And yes, my mother was with me.
Our father died in Harrisburg.
Okay, so my mother was with me, so the trade-off was Ellen got me and my mom, and I got her and her 3 incredible kids.
So, yes.
Oh, bless.
I don't know who that
Our
they are.
3 incredible
Yeah,
kids.
they are. We do consider them ours, which is fantastic. So thank you for that. For many reasons, thank you for that. But so let's go back a little bit to those days at Hills, and of course, working with her, not on the same team, but working in the same environment and seeing firsthand some of the challenges that you went through. So tell us a little bit about how you overcame some of the feedback. Are you open to feedback? Brian knows what I'm talking about. Are you open to some feedback? Some of the feedback you got about who you should be or how you should behave
Yep.
to become who you are today.
Thank you. I obviously not here, but normally I love to speak, right, publicly. I used to hate it. Oh my God, I would rather die. My second master's program, that changed. I made a joke and I'm like, oh, I could use humor. So, and to deflect everything else, right? So I was speaking and I was being myself. I was told, no, you cannot be a speaker like that. You have to follow all the basically Toastmaster rules, right? You stand up there like this, arms at your side, and you speak. I would put you guys to sleep so fast if I did that. I also was told that speakers have to be polished and wear makeup. Well, sorry guys. You get me. So I think I've overcome that because I love to just talk to people, right? I love to smile. Our world does not smile enough anymore. Drives my kids crazy, especially when they were younger, because I would be in line at the grocery store and I'd be like, hey, how are you? And they'd be like, oh my God, you're so embarrassing. I'm just saying hi. But yeah, I was told, I was actually sent to public speaking courses trying to get me to fit in that mold. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to say, but when I won the first Speaker of the Year award here, for me, I was like, yeah, I don't have to fit into a box.
And not only did she win that Speaker of the Year award from NABC, she's a 3-time NABC Speaker of the Year. So, I wanted to share a little bit of that because again, we talk a lot about, sometimes people see her as she is now and they forget that it takes a lot of hard work. Sometimes you gotta overcome some really tough things and you gotta be courageous and authentic, and she lives that every day. And so thank you for sharing that. So okay, so we talked a little bit about your love for the profession, but what's the best part of your career in veterinary medicine?
The best part of my career is getting to do what I'm doing here. My passion for nutrition, my passion for veterinary nurses, veterinary technicians is authentic. I love our profession, or I would have stayed in psychology and withered away to nothing. But yeah, so the best part of my career is that I get to do this. And I get to write, I get to be part of Wellhaven, I get to be part of UMove, I get to be editor-in-chief of Today's Veterinary Nurse. I get to speak on what I love to speak about. I will chase you down if you have an opportunity to let me speak on nutrition, because nutrition is so important to our animals. Cats, dogs, birds, horses, doesn't matter. And so that's the best part of my career, is where I'm at. It took a lot to get here, but I mean, I had a wonderful turnout this morning, and we were having fun, and that's how we need to learn, and that's how we can have our discussions. It was a pretty heated topic, but we were having fun discussing it, and that's, I think, how it should be.
And again, she truly does live that every day. And yes, she will chase people down to talk about competition. And I will also say that that psych degree actually comes in pretty handy. Okay, so aside from me, what's the best part of your life?
You.
Well done. Good answer.
Yeah, no, truly. I know it's corny, and you guys, some of you have heard me say this before, but again, I do know it's corny, but finding your person, finding the absolute love of your life changes you. And it changes you for the better. I would not be here at all if it wasn't for you. So thank you. And, we have 3 children, and now we update that poster, we have 4 grandkids. Our last one was born January 2nd. Yeah, I know, like I had anything to do with that. But that's a legacy as well. Ivy Catherine is our newest. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention all of our pets. And what I heard from the Icon Award is that you get your choice of a Frenchie or a Persian.
If any of those come in a box to our house, come to send them. So she still does actually have a text where I agreed to 12 French bulldogs. I must have had a little too much wine.
I saved it though.
She did. I always say, be careful when you put it in writing. So honestly, Kara, thank you for sharing so much of yourself so authentically with us. And I'm sure the audience knows by your bios and everything else, a lot about the professional Kara Burns. But I think, what is the one thing you truly want people here to know and remember about you, and what's your personal mission statement?
That's a good question.
I know.
My personal mission statement. I think it would be to positively influence any being, human or animal, and to encourage, inspire people to chase to achieve whatever they want to achieve and live the dreams that they want to live. I came, a different route, but I knew from when I was 5 that I wanted to be in veterinary medicine. And I'm living proof that, some girl from Buzzards Bay, Massachusetts, can make that happen. So if I can do it, anyone can do it, and that's why I always get so excited to talk to people, to try to encourage them. So there you go.
Do you want to talk about the green ribbon?
I would love to talk about the green ribbon. So, society, our world has gone a little crazy, and our profession is really getting beat up at times from clients and from each other at times. So what I always like to end my presentations with is reminding all of us to be kind to one another, to just be kind always. If we have a client coming in who's screaming at us, we don't know what's going on with that person. It doesn't excuse their behavior, but veterinary medicine is the most empathetic, right, profession. So we have to remember that even when we are getting, beat up. So be kind, smile, whether your kids approve of it or not. And so Catherine, thank you for making these Be Kind ribbons. So please take some and wear them and get other people thinking about kindness.
That's awesome. I think that deserves some applause, right? I want to end this portion of my opportunity to interview you, Kara, with just telling you that I'm so honored to be your wife. So thank you for sharing more of you with us tonight. And now, as the Bridge Club has been very eager to honor its first veterinary technician icon, I would like Shannon Noah to come up and
bring those up just in case she
explore
gets
your
teary-eyed.
insights and vision for veterinary technicians and the profession. And
Woo, Shannon.
Thank you, Ellen. You know, Ellen said at the beginning that every time Kara lectures, there's a mob of people running to the front. That's me. I'm that person. I've literally done that. I'm like, hey, Kara, she's my hero. I won't spend too much time fangirling, but I always do. But I don't want to go too far over time, so I'll just kind of keep this brief. And this will be a loaded question.
Oh, no.
So, you know.
Oh, it's a loaded
Are you ready?
question.
Because you can't go down a bunch of avenues right now. But
Right.
we know that there are a bunch of challenges in the profession, specifically related to technicians. And I'm not going to call them out individually because, again, you could be here all night. But I want to know what your opinions are, like where you see the profession going in terms of technicians. And do you think these are realistic challenges that we can overcome?
Okay. That is a big one.
I know it's big.
Yeah. So, do I think we can overcome it? Absolutely. Not a doubt in my mind. Will it take a while to get there? Yes. Will it happen in my lifetime? Most likely not. But, you know, I've been talking about technician utilization for 20 years or more. I've seen the needle move a little bit on that. So that's a good thing. Right now, the industry, the profession as a whole, is behind increased technician utilization. How we get there 100% and how we fill the, you know, is there a vet shortage? Is there a technician shortage? What do we do? We have to standardize the credential, open up all the practice acts so we have one across 50 states. And then we will start to see an improvement in wages, in mental health, in well-being, in truly being allowed to do what we do. There's a lot of parts to this, so it will, you know, it takes a lot longer than a couple minutes here. But do I think it can happen? Absolutely, because it's already started. And the Bridge Club, I mean, you guys are one that opens up that conversation. So thank you for that. And so, yeah, it will happen. It will take some heated discussions. It will take some give and take on both sides, but I firmly believe it will happen. Again, maybe not in my lifetime, but shortly thereafter.
So I love that you say you've already seen the needle move.
I have.
I think, like, we've both been technicians for a while, and I've seen it move too. But I think with some younger technicians, we're like, has any progress been made?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, talk to us old people.
yes.
Yeah, because
Vintage checks.
yeah, season. Because yes, I have seen the needle move. I mean, look at the specialties. I mean, that's one way that the needle has moved, and a shout out to Harold, he's in here somewhere. And, you know, and we will continue, the conversations that we're having about increased utilization, about mid-level practitioner, et cetera, those conversations will continue to move the needle. But yeah, it's also on us as technicians to voice what we want. Right? So if I want to place a feeding tube, or at least an NE or an NG tube, we have to show our team that we can do that and that we should do that. So both sides have to open up the conversation.
So aside from kind of advocating for ourselves as technicians and what skills we we have or can learn, what would you recommend, like what advice would you give, I guess, new technicians and or seasoned technicians so that we can continue this forward momentum?
What advice would I give? I want us all to continue talking and listening, more importantly. We have to listen to each other and not talk over each other. We can move the needle, we can become a more cohesive profession if we listen to each other. And then from listening, right, then we get to the communication is, just not understanding the root cause of what's going on. So we have to get back to conversations, listening, and find out the root cause of what's causing the conflict. And from that, we can all then get on the same page. It will take time, it will take discussions. That's okay. But we have to have these discussions and keep an open mind and definitely listen to one another.
I agree. Do you have any other I guess like last words of wisdom or anything else you want to put out to the room?
Words of wisdom. No, I wore pink. I usually don't do that. I'm usually a black or a green. No, I want definitely to thank everybody. One, for being here. I mean, when Catherine told me, I'm like, I don't think that's true. That I want. And then she's like, who do you want? I'm like, who's gonna show up? No one's gonna come. And so thank you all for being here. If I haven't had a chance to thank you personally, thank you. And I want to thank the incredible sponsors, Blue Buffalo, IDEX, and ABC. You guys are all incredible. Thank you for working with us, with the Bridge Club, to really move the profession forward. Thank you, Shannon, for always asking me questions and encouraging me to talk nutrition on the Bridge Club. Thank you to my family. My sister Pam, who I mentioned, is really a lot older than me. And her husband Tony, they've been married 50 years. So Tony is basically another brother to me because I was barely even born when they got married. Thank you, Jared and Melissa, for being here. I cannot even begin to tell you how much that means to me. And the absolute love of my life, thank you for being here, for interviewing me, for everything. So, I don't know, I'm red now, aren't I? So thank you, Catherine and Dr. Cheryl Good from the Bridge Club. You guys are incredible, and truly, thank you all for being here.
The floor just for a question or two. I know we've gone a little bit longer and I know you're dying to get another beverage, but if we could just have like 3 more minutes where if anyone has any questions for Kara, I want to, please come forward. Wake up forward.
I don't know if we want her to come forward.
You have no idea what you just said.
Oh, and we're on the stage.
First things first, congratulations, my sister. And you're right, she is your better half. So it's more of a comment than a question.
Okay, good.
But I would love to hear your input. So I have now been a veterinarian for 37 and a half years, which is like a million job years. And have witnessed our profession make multiple transformational changes. One of the most important has been the development and elevation of the certified veterinary technician, the licensed veterinary technician, the registered veterinary technician, and the veterinary nurse, depending on which jurisdiction in which you happen to reside. I am appalled that there is even a discussion
about a mid-level practitioner. Because in reality, we have our sister profession, our brother profession already amongst us. And I would be interested in knowing if you have had an opportunity to have a conversation about elevating the role of veterinary technician to actually meet the needs that have been created, I think, completely erroneously by a few talking heads who have somehow decided that we need to have what in human medicine are called physician assistants, when we have at our side walking the path that we walk to advocate on behalf of beings who cannot advocate for themselves and to support, facilitate, lengthen, and strengthen the precious human-animal bonds, when we have those people right here next to us. And so, dear Kara, please,
She wasn't kidding.
what do you think?
We can let her in.
Okay.
She's right, I should be careful.
That's all good.
Oh, it's all good.
All right. It's a great question. I actually gave a talk on this morning, and we were having a wonderful conversation. I have been working for a long time, as have many of you, to elevate the role of the veterinary technician utilization, right? 25, 30 years ago, I've been saying technician utilization, use us, that's why we're there. Doctors do only your doctor things. So I think, I think the profession as a whole really has finally, and that's why I said to Shannon, I have seen the needle move. We are finally being utilized more. Is every single hospital? No. But that's what this groundswell is about, right? We want to be utilized. Better medicine, better patient care, better revenue. Oh, I said the revenue word, right? We're not supposed to talk money. And so, yes, we have credentialed vet techs, and I would love to continue to see us move that forward. The mid-level practitioner is another, I'd like to embrace all the ideas and have conversations, then we can move forward. So yeah, the mid-level practitioner idea came forth. Let's have a discussion about that and get again to the root cause, the root problem. Maybe we don't need that if we utilize our technicians. Maybe we do. But until we all as a profession have that discussion, we won't really know. I still want to see us utilize more. We have vet tech specialists, vet tech specialties. There's 16 of them now. Nutrition happens to be the best one. Yeah, you knew that was coming. And so, let's utilize the vet tech specialists appropriately. So for me, I just loved that the conversations are being had. We have to continue to listen to each other and to, elevate technicians across the board, standardize all 50 states, and then we can move forward.
I absolutely adore this woman, and I'm gonna fangirl here in a few minutes too after you all have left, but I do wanna say this, conversations like that last question are pivotal to moving this profession forward.
Yep.
And that's why the Bridge Club exists. So
Yep.
if you have not yet come to a Bridge Club, that is exactly why you would do so. And I think we just found our speaker on behalf of So what I would love to do, so obviously the bar is open, but if I could have every veterinary technician that is in the room to come forward to have a photo taken with our first ever individual photos, you can also let that taken. I am stage. Thank you, thank you.